You say
coordinated.
I don't even remember Cheryl not being with me, at
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I would think I had far more fun because I was quiet and scared, and they called me Cream Puff, and they called her Moki.
Yeah.
What did that stand for?
I don't know. I just,
It was from
well,
a
everybody
newspaper,
had a,
the funnies. There was a Moki in the funnies.
oh, I didn't even
Yeah,
know that. I know.
and then was Moki was always getting into things, and she
Ah.
became Moki. And I don't ever remember not being with her. We were always together, and I liked it because I put her out front. And, she had all the guts, and I'd be in the back. Should I tell that story about every once in a year we'd have to go sell raffle tickets for the Catholic Church. And I hated, I didn't want to go. I didn't want to talk to those, they were my neighbors, but they were those people, those strangers. And so she says, Shirley will go with you. And so we were each supposed to have our own pack to sell, about $5 worth each. And she'd sell hers, and then she'd take mine and sell mine, and I'd just stand there, and she'd get all the things sold, and I was so glad, because of it. And then when Shirley, this really advances forward, when we went to Europe together on a trip to many countries in Europe, she was always, she was well coordinated. I was very poor coordinated. She walked at 10 months, and we're only 10 months apart. And so I walked about a month or two after she walked. And I talked later than she, and I was very uncoordinated, and she was just, and sharp and smart she was. And she just was in the forefront. But also, she was so daring. Like when we were only grade school kids, we got to go to high school on Saturdays to swim, to learn how to swim. And the first thing she did, we were in the shallow water, is she doesn't listen to anybody, and the lady would say that we were going to go down these steps and go in, and we're going to hold on to this pole. And she jumped in. And the water was about this much higher than her head. And down she was, and she's just like, doing this stuff, not scared at all underwater. And I went over there, and I pulled her up. Cheryl, you can't do this. Cheryl, you can't do this, And the lady said, get her out of here. So she got out. Then we all had to do it right. But she would let go of the pole, and she'd go down, she didn't know, and do this, And so I was always grabbing Cheryl. And not only there, but when we went to school, she'd walk right out, not look for the cars, and I'd grab Cheryl and all of that. And even though she was smarter than me and everything, she was very impulsive. And here we go to Europe, and what are we? We're in our 50s or 60s, and we go across the street, and I grab her.
You're still doing the same thing. Yeah.
And she said, what are you doing?
Habit.
And it happened in about 3 countries till I finally didn't do it anymore. I had to steel myself. I just automatically grabbed her after all these years of our being apart and everything. It's very interesting. At that time. But we only knew a wonderful life. We would go to church, Catholic church, every Sunday. The big bells would ring, and we'd walk to the church. It was only 3 blocks. It seemed like a mile for little kids. And after church, Grandpa would buy us ice cream cones for 3 cents. And he would buy us a Mellow Roll for 5 cents. I mean, that was heaven. We'd each have an ice cream cone going back. We'd get in the house, and Grandma would say, we'd have ice cream all over us. Pa, you did it again. No. And we could get those, what are they called? Gumballs for a penny, And
He had the gumball machine he had. You remember he could
yeah,
work
jiggle
it without putting any money in, and could get as many as you want. We'd each have